Hello and welcome to Sport Tonight. I'm Cecilia Omogbe in Lagos. Of course, Austin will be joining me later on the program. But this is what the show looks like tonight. We'll be talking about the Super Eagles of Nigeria because we have full squad in the camp of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. They're beginning their campaign for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. It's a house party, you know, the World Cup that is being held across continent, of course, Canada, United States, and Mexico. It's a full house at Eagles camp. We'll be having the media officer of the team joining us on the program. Of course, NPFL season opener was today. Ekiti and Delta Queens, the champions, opened the game today, but then it ended goalless. A historic moment for both sides, especially for Ekiti, who are appearing in the Nigerian Women's Football League top flight for the first time, and it's also the first time Delta Queens is also facing that team. That game, as I mentioned earlier, ended goalless. We'll be talking about that. And of course, take a look at match day 8 of Nigeria Professional Football League, the games that were decided over the weekend, and of course, rescheduled games that will be taking place on Wednesday. We'll be also be talking about that. Sports development, grassroots sport development in Enugu State. What are they up to? What are they cooking? We'll be talking about that on the program. And of course, for the first time in the history of the CAF Awards, you have how many Nigerians, I lost count, Nigerian players actually dominated the women's awards, where you have the goalkeeper for the first time is coming into the party of the CAF Awards for women. Of course, Asaz Shola has won it 5 times, record 5 times. She's also part of the squad. There's so many players in that. So these are many more we'll be talking about on the program. Austin Okonakwa, of course, will be joining me much later on the show. But then right here in the studio, there's Shola Rogers, who is joining me to start the program. Good to have you on the program.
Thanks for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, so let's just get it started. We're starting off with this one. I mean, this is big. This is huge. I just can't wait to start off with it. But I know the media of Spraggles will be joining us on the program. But then, this big one that I can't wait to talk about. Okay, let me not skip it. Let's talk about Nigerian Women's Football League first, because I'm just eager to talk about this nomination. It's big, because how many times do you have so many players from a particular countries dominating awards, whether it's FIFA or CAF? This is a historic moment for women's football in Nigeria. But then we're going to start off with Nigerian Women's Football League, the game that was decided today, and of course the fixtures for Wednesday. We'll just roll it out. We'll just quickly go to the screen and roll this out. You have Ekiti Queens and Delta Queens. That game ended goalless. I know, Shola, you were, championing on the beat to actually see it kicking off, and finally it kicked off.
I'm beaming from ear to ear, because the Women's League is our special baby, our project. So when I say I mean well-meaning Nigerians who respect the women's game and know that it hasn't gotten the kind of respect that it deserves, and it's interesting how there are a lot of firsts.
Yes.
Ekiti Queens, playing at home. Delta Queens, the champions 6 times or so.
Yeah.
The champions 6 times. And again, the game is being broadcast live.
Live, yes.
It's just all wins and stuff. At halftime, I saw an interview of the governor's wife.
Yeah.
Then
she was right there at the stadium.
She was there live. Then the students who came to the stadium. It was just like an all-round thing. For me, you see, this is what we've been advocating for. When you put round pegs and round holes, this is what you get. I'm going to mention one person, but it's in extension talking about the entire board of the women's league. Nkechi, Obi, and our team. I want to say kudos to them. Thumbs up. We want to see more.
Yeah.
We've seen some innovations and all of that. Individual player awards and stuff. Yes, this is a good time to be alive. It's a good time to watch the Women's League, because this will have far-reaching effects on the national team.
Yeah,
and this is what we've been talking about all this while.
Yeah.
So kudos to everybody that is working behind the scenes to make it happen, especially the players.
Yeah, I mean, at first when the league was starting, I'm like, what happens to the curtain raise that we usually have? The winner, the FA Cup, and of course the champions meeting and playing against each other. We didn't have that. But after seeing this opening ceremony, I'm like, okay, I understand. Yeah. let's just enjoy this moment, especially the way the whole game. I mean, you mentioned live, streaming live. I mean, the game yesterday ended goalless, but if you had watched that game, hooking up to the live feeds that they had, it was an interesting game. Yeah, there were no goals, but for Ekiti, becoming the first women's league from that actually states, to be in top flight. So it's a win-win for that state-sponsored team.
The result was shocking, though.
You thought Delta were going to decimate?
I thought it was going to be like one-way traffic.
Yeah.
Delta was just going to be all over the place, running them ragged and, have them in 6s and 7s and all. But no way. Ekiti actually gave a good account of themselves. Maybe not in the entire quality of play, but the result says a lot for them.
All right, let's just take a look at other fixtures for that's tomorrow, where you'll be having match day 1. All the games, of course, it was just one game that was played today. But from Wednesday, we'll have all the other teams playing. Niger Rattles and Nasarawa Amazons will be playing against each other. Of course, that's in Abuja. Confluence Queens and Danas Ladies, one of the new teams that are coming into the NPFL Premiership. Abia Angels and the Moa Queens will also be in action. Heartland Queens and Royal Queens will also tackle each other. Remo Stars Ladies, another new team also coming again, promotion from the championship. We up against Rivers Angels. What a way to come into a team like this. Sunshine Queens and Bayelsa Queens will also be in action as last 2 seasons champions. Edo Queens and FC Robo Queens will also slug it out. This game will be at 6 p.m., but all other games will be played 4 p.m. across the nation. So these are the fixtures. So wherever state you are in, if you have a women's team in that state, just go to the stadium and cheer these ladies to victory, because there's so many wins happening in women's football these days. And that's why we have Shola Rogers right here in the building, because you have a lot to talk about it. But then, now, let's talk about the big one, talking about the Player of the Year award. That's a CAF. I mean, when you say the list, we have to create a Nigerian list. Normally, you have other players coming in, but when you take a look at the list, there's so many. So we had to create Nigerian players list. That's what we had to do tonight on the show. Now, take a look at these names. Yes, these are Nigerian players nominated for the 2023 CAF Awards. Women, of course. Player of the Year, women. You have Asisatu Shola, of course, a Nigerian, playing for Barcelona. You have Chiamaka Nnadozie playing for Paris FC right there in France. Christy Uchebe plays for Benfica. And you also have Osinachi Ohale, Pachuca right there in Mexico. That's where she plays. Remember the goal that she scored at the World Cup? She had to, the way she literally took herself into the net. If you remember that goal, remember how the key role that she played at the FIFA Women's World Cup. Rashida Rajibado plays for Atletico Madrid in Spain. She's also part of the players nominated. Tony Payne, also in Spain, in Sevilla, she's also nominated. I remember what the English women's national team, 3 Lionesses, what she had to say concerning Tony Payne because of the way she played against England. Uchenna Kanu, of course, she was on the show last week, who plays for Racing Louisville right there in Mexico. She's also part of the players nominated. Now, let's go to that of the goalkeeper. Of course, for the first time, CAF is introducing this one. You have Chiamaka Nnadozie, Paris FC. She's also a part of the players nominated for goalkeeper of the year. Let's flip over to young player of the year. You have Deborah Abiodun, who was with the Falcons, and she was able to get into the Super Falcons, and she went to the World Cup playing Nigeria's opening game before the red card, and of course, she couldn't play anymore. She's right now at Pittsburgh in the US. That's where she's playing. Esther Kweheme Ajakai, the Nigerian team that finished third at the under-17. Right now, she is with the Falcons. She's with the Falcons. She plays for Delta Queens. Oluwatosin Dimei, defensive warlord. She was the captain of the Falcons, got the quarterfinals of the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. And right now, she is regular player for the senior team, the Super Falcons. Randy Wardrum, of course, coach of the year, is one of the coaches that was nominated for coach of the year. Now, let's go to team of the year. Of course, Super Falcons also one of the teams. You have South Africa, you have Morocco. These are some of the teams that were also nominated for national team of the year. Okay, Austin is ready to join us on the program. Austin, how you doing?
Very greetings to you, Cecilia, to Shola Rogers in the studio with you, and of course, everyone joining us on the show tonight. Cecilia, I join you to celebrate your joy, the enthusiasm you used to get into the show was infectious, and I don't blame you. Beautiful times for women's football in Nigeria. And we must continue to, sustain the momentum. Shout out to everyone that has ensured that women's football gets to that level where we want it to get. For instance, I heard you and Shola talking about the start of the Women's League. Ekiti Queens will definitely relish that result that they got over Delta Queens, who are the defending champions of the Women's League. But before the league started, shout out to everyone who were involved in the system to keep it going. From Nkechi Obi and the women's football team that kept doing seminars, workshops, sensitizing the public, talking about branding, how to bring sponsorship into league football, talking about, the ecosystem and how it can be profitable. We used that energy and dumped it on the league. Before that time, the Super Falcons went to the World Cup, did good things. People started talking about women's football again. We must keep it going. And shout out to every player that has been nominated. In fact, I was thinking the entire Super Falcons team that went to the World Cup deserves to be nominated. But they picked 7, and I just hope that they scoop the main prize of the night. But this is really encouraging, particularly the Young Player Award. Mm-hmm. Now, people will just think that it's just an award. Where is Deborah Abiodun coming from?
Yeah.
Where is the main coming from? You see, go back. Esther Jataye still plays in the league.
Yeah.
So it's foundational, developmental when we build from home, when we concentrate at the base and then take it one step at a time from bottom to top, not always concentrating at what's going on at the top. So congratulations once again. This is a big win for women's football development in Nigeria. And Shola tried to say it from the administrative level. Let me expand it, make it holistic. Everyone that has supported the growth and development of women's football in Nigeria, the nomination, all of these good things happening with women's football in Nigeria, are dedicated to you guys. Well done.
Shola, I know you want to talk about the nomination. I mean, the dominance of Nigeria. Yes, we saw 6 players from South Africa, or 5, but then you look at the Nigerian players, you look at the young players of the year, you look at the goalkeeper, and you look, of course, the players of the year.
Team of the year.
Team of the year.
Because I've been waiting for you to get to team of the year. If we have an entire team nominated for best player of the year, that means we're automatically
of course,
the
team of the year.
So, CAF, I don't want to hear no stories. That one is in the bag.
Already?
I'm that bold, Again, Randy Waldrum.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm not a big fan. I'm not going to hide it. But he's done good stuff in recent times. And he's also nominated, So, leaving those 2 nominations, now going to the main one, player of the year. You look at the entire list, like, oh my God.
7.
Let me sit this one out. Let the rest of Africa decide, It's a good thing. It shows that these ladies put in their best and the world was watching and they are now being recognized. Being nominated alone is a win for them. It's massive. It's a huge thing. And, I hope that the Nigerian sports administrators, the governors, the presidents, the ministers, will look at this and say, how did they achieve it and how can we get better at this?
Yeah.
This is a welcome. Do you know how much inspiration the younger players will draw from this?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That, look, 3 players already nominated as Young Player of the Year. It's a win all around.
Yeah.
Then, goalkeeper. She's nominated on the other side.
I also.
Then now as a goalkeeper. And, there's one thing about her. When she's between the sticks, she inspires confidence.
Yeah.
I've not seen a keeper like her in a long time. We've not had this type. With due respect to all the keepers we've had, but we've not had someone like her in a long time. And in all, it is a win for Nigerian women and Nigerian women's sports, not just football.
I like that. I think we'll just end it there because if we want to talk about this, we use the whole show to talk about women's football today. But tomorrow, obviously, we will continue talking about it because, the league, the rest of the games will continue in the Nigerian Women's Premiership. That's talking about match day 1. It started, opening ceremony was today. But we need to go on, okay, no, not yet. All right. If he's ready to join us, I'm talking about the media officer of the Super Eagles of Nigeria, Babafemi Raji, who will be joining us on the program to actually talk more about the team. Yes, we learned that we have full full house right now. At first, earlier in the morning, we're like, how many players we have in camp? Not so much, but right now we know we are full house because Lesotho and Zimbabwe, these are the teams the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be up against this weekend and, of course, next week. Of course, the first game is going to play in Uyo, that's against Lesotho, and I know how these players are looking forward to these games. Now, let's bring it home and quickly talk about the Super Eagles of Nigeria because we've seen, I mean, we didn't go to the last World Cup. I mean, I was listening to Kenneth. We'll listen to him much later on the program. I mean, when he was actually talking about what it means to be at the World Cup and he's already looking forward to going to the World Cup. But then the Super Eagles, they're in camp, all the big boys here. Yes, we know we don't have the likes of Osimhen and the others, but these are teams that you can easily use. Come on, players from the home, players from, NPFL and just play against a team like that.
I am not going to buy into that your cockiness. No. It's a difficult situation because of the format for qualification.
Yeah.
So every goal, not just every point now, every goal counts. And regardless of the players who are not there, let's focus on the players who are there. Nigeria is blessed with a whole lot of talent. Talent has never really been our problem in the last 3-4 years. The problem has always been about how to create one unit that can actually deliver on the goods. And I'm excited with this. You see, before the team list comes out, you can criticize, you can analyze, but when the team list comes out, you must get behind the team. So whoever is in there now, who is a Nigerian that's qualified to play, these are our best players, and we're expecting the very best from them. So regardless of who is in camp, we just want to get the points and the goals.
Okay, points and the goals. That's what we want to get. All right, let's take a look at the players that are in camp. The list of the players, we have that ready for you. Just list of the players that are currently in the Super Eagles camp. Yes, let's start off with Francis Uzoho. Yes, Nigerians criticize him. Why is he still here? Well, he's right here. He plays for Cyprus. Olorunleke Ojo, of course, from Eimba, and Amas Obasoge. He's here based on the fact that we have Maduka Okoye pulling out from the squad. Maybe we'll know the reasons much later, but Amas got his very first call-up to the national team. You have Olaluwa, from Nottingham Forest is also in camp. Chidozie Awaziem of Portugal, Boavista, he's also in camp. Bright Osai Samuel, Fenerbahce, Turkey is in camp. Of course, Bruno Oyemachi is also part of the players that are in camp. Let's flip over to the defenders. Kenneth Omeru, he's camp, the most experienced player right there in camp. Kasimpasa, Turkey, I think he's called over the weekend. You have Oluwashemilogo Ajayi is also in camp. Kelvin Bassi also in camp. Jamil Collins is also part of the players that are in camp who play for Cardiff in Wales. Yes, just finish up with these players before we quickly go on a break. We'll move over to forwards, the strikers that are in camp. And of course, the usual forwards, the usual suspect. Kelechi Iheanacho is there, Sadiq Kumar is there, Moses Simon, Ademola Lukmo are the players that are in camp who plays for Atalanta in Italy. Nathan Atella is also there, making his first call-up to the national team. Tara Awoniyi, Tarim Murphy, and Victor Boniface Bayer Leverkusen in Germany. So these are the players in camp. We need to go on a break. When we come back, we'll be listening to some of the players talking ahead of the game against Lesotho. Austin, the journey for the FIFA World Cup 2026 will be beginning this Thursday. And of course, 47 months, across 47 months, right? 10-match series, that's what the Super Eagles will be playing. Are you excited? Because there's, how do I call it? There's, we already have a kind of a slogan that has been, let's do it again. That's what the NFF has launched, because after failing to go to Qatar, we have to do this again. Not just at the Nations Cup, but also going to the World Cup. So the series is right there, starting in Uyo. That's where the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be up against Lesotho to begin that 10-match series. 47 months. It's a long journey.
Long journey, Cecilia. And am I excited? No, I'm not. But I'm optimistic. And I think that's what I want to keep, I want to keep the spirit of optimism that the Super Eagles understand this mission. There's a constant reminder, and you just did it again, that they missed out of the last edition in Qatar, and that for any big team in Africa that says they should be respected in football, then you should be qualifying for the World Cup. You know, it's painful how they missed out on the last edition. They need to get it right. I think they've got the right mentality. I like the fact that, you know, they've launched that slogan, "Let's do it again." That's a constant reminder to themselves that they have a big mission to fulfill. I see Shola being cautious when he was trying to give his analysis on Nigeria versus Lesotho. And I don't blame Shola Rogers, you know, because I'm sure he will be saying, where am I getting the confidence when we've seen the Super Eagles lose to Central African Republic in Lagos? They lost to Guinea-Bissau in Abuja. So these days, you never say never, you know, until the football is played. But with this one, I just want the Super Eagles to come out and prove a point. You're going on a long journey, and you're as good as your last game. So the opponents that are waiting for you in front, let them go back, do their research, and see that you're coming out strong and getting stronger. So when you build momentum, you must sustain it. Lesotho, they are ranked 153 in the world. The Super Eagles are ranked 40th. 40 in the world. So if we want to use rankings, that is grandfather to small child. So we shouldn't come here and start worrying and saying, what are they going to do in Uyo on Thursday? The Super Eagles are supposed to walk into that Gospel Akpabio Stadium with canes and flog Lesotho if they try to misbehave. And at the end of the day, you and I and Shola should come here and say, 5-0, it could have been 10. You know, that's what we want to be saying, but we know that's not how football works these days. But the Super Eagles must find a way to be respected again and then get to that level where they are feared. When teams want to play you, let them know that it's going to be tough. That said, I'll keep my optimism. I believe that the Super Eagles can get the job done on Thursday. Jose Pizarro has done a great job with the mentality of this team. When he got into the job, he came with an aura of positivity. He's done a great job as a father to the team. I love the way he talks before and after games. Let's also remember he promised us that they can go ahead to win the AFCON, and they've launched that slogan to keep reminding them. So these are pretty much good times in terms of, should I say, talks? We need to walk the talk, and I want to wish the Super Eagles all the best against Lesotho on Thursday, Cecilia.
Yeah, that's what we're wishing them. Of course, the players have been talking ahead of that game. Let's listen to Jamil Collins, Kenneth Omeru, and Sadiq Umar, how expectant they are in a game against Lesotho.
What you guys are promoting right now, let's do it. So that's what we're going for right now. We believe our people, we know they always support us 100%. We are really grateful for the support they always show to us, and it's always good to always play in front of our fans in Nigeria. And we cannot wait to give them good results every day on the pitch. You know, in the national team, there is no competition. There is just for all of us here to come here and give our best for our nation. Whosoever is being called to play, we always give his best. So I don't think there is any competition there. We're one country now, so we're here to make our country proud. We're all excited for this game. Hopefully, we will come with full power and make our people proud.
It's an important one for us. We missed out at the last World Cup, so this is a serious matter for us. And you know, we're here to do what we have to do to get our tickets for the next World Cup. We've played Lesotho and Zimbabwe in the past, and you know, the important thing is to stick to our game plan and take the game very serious, because we have to win both games. It was my dream, you know, to play in the World Cup, and the atmosphere is amazing. There is no other compared to it, you know, and it's something they have to witness. You know, it's an amazing tournament, amazing to see Nigerians traveling all over the world to come support us during the World Cup, and yeah, I'm looking forward to another World Cup.
Whenever we are here, we are always happy to represent the country. Whether you start or you have 6 or you are on the bench, we're always ready to represent the country. Keep supporting us, and I hope in these 2 games we'll come out with a good result.
Yeah, of course. We'll keep supporting the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Let's do it again. Let's do it again going to the World Cup and also win the Africa Cup of Nations. That's in Cote d'Ivoire in January. But, Shola Regis, you saw the list. I mean, for the first time, we have 2 home-based goalkeepers. I'm actually happy because if your foreign-based goalkeepers are not doing so well, come back home and look inward and see how you can, resurrect. Because goalkeepers, when it comes to the Super Eagles of Nigeria right now, you go to social media, it's not pretty at all. It's ugly.
We might not want to face facts, but we have a goalkeeping crisis.
Yeah, we do. I agree with you.
And
totally on that.
We've had it for a few years, But let's not go into history. Based on the 3 keepers in camp, now, drop the toga of home-based, drop the toga of foreign-based.
Yeah.
Assess all 3 based on the quality that they display and how hungry they are.
Yeah.
Because if you even go statistically, the last man that they called up has a better record than the other 2 in recent games that they played.
Interesting.
He's considered less goals in the same number of games as compared to Ojo Olorunleke and Uzoho. Now, I'm not taking anything away from those guys. I'm just saying, statistically, Obasogie has shown that, look, I'm the man. But, it's a greenhorn just coming in for the first time. There was a little bit of drama.
Let's call up.
There's a little bit of drama when he got to the stadium. They didn't even let him in.
Because they didn't know he's part of the team.
They didn't even let him in. Some journalists had to speak to the security guys. That is a Super Eagles player. This happened. Trust me. I can send the video to you. But that will spoil him on. He's been welcomed into the team and everything. I don't want to put him under any pressure, but I'm hoping that everything will be, from this point onwards, merit-based. So if it's the man that shows that he's going to man the sticks, then give it to him. Give it to him. It could be him, could be Ojo Olorunleke, it could be Uzoho, but let's not pick based on location where they are based. Let it be based on how ready they are, to keep a clean sheet. At least with the support of the other 10 players, But the way I see it, you might just have an home-based goalkeeper. Although I said we shouldn't use that slogan.
Yeah.
You might just have one of them manning the
playing in the Nigerian league, right? Yeah. Austin, is this something you want to agree with?
Yeah.
We've seen 2
players
from the NPFL.
I said it last week, Cecilia, when I was on the show with Yemi, and I said if Maduka Okoye and Francis Uzoho haven't been doing so well, and you keep inviting Ojo Olorunleke, and all he does is just provide training support to the other guys that are misbehaving, then the goalkeeper trainer should be questioned. And I like the fact that now they've brought in Obasogie. I know him so well. I see him in the league. He's commanding, he's confident, and he's got some good presence. Ojo Olorunleke has got the same thing too. So if fans are complaining about goalkeeping and the issues surrounding it, then they're all professionals. You can as well make a change. So Francis Uzoho can sit on the bench and know that he's not entitled to always be behind the sticks if he's making mistakes. And look, I like the fact that he went to apologize. Remember, Sila, we did a show together when he tweeted something about one of the friendly games and how he was approached by fans. He got emotional and he responded. He went back now to say he's sorry, that he was actually speaking to someone specific, So with everything that is happening with goalkeeping in the Super Eagles, it's so obvious now that we have tested 1 or 2 persons and we are not confident with them anymore. So if you're bringing new people, let's try them. This is Lesotho. We are not playing Argentina or France or Brazil. We are not playing Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Egypt or Morocco in Africa that are respected, or Senegal. We are playing Lesotho that is ranked 153rd in the world. I know that fans will come for the tackle crew if we don't win. But this is the sort of game where you can try. Nathan Teller is new to the team. Try him. The guys that have not really played, try them. Let's know what we are doing. Don't just call people and you cannot even see their quality on the field of play. So yes, if Francis Uzoho is told to sit down and watch this game and let Ojo Olorunleke or Obasogie take charge, I don't think anybody will question it, because we are just tired of the goalkeeping situation in the Super Eagles. And this is an opportunity for Ojo Olorunleke or anyone that will be given the opportunity. When you get in there, take a chance. Do well. And you'll see Nigerians will rally around you and say we should always play you. I gave the story of Ikechukwu Ezenwa when he was at Heartland. Pali Keme was on fire, and whatever happened then happened, and it was Ikechukwu Ezenwa that manned the post when we played a crucial game against Cameroon. And we won 3-0 in Uyo, and they went away to play, and it ended 1-1. And it was an home-based goalkeeper that did the job because they are professionals. So I'm not here to come and say, we need this, we need that. If somebody is not doing well, in fact, stop inviting them, bring new people, try them out. Nigeria is too blessed with talent for us to be struggling, Cecilia.
Yeah, spot on right there. I think the media officer of the team, Babafemi Raj, is ready to join us now live from Uyo. They just rounded off their first training session ahead of the game against Lesotho on Thursday in Uyo. Femi, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Cecilia. How are you doing?
Fantastic. I'm good. And how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. We just wrapped up training. And in about 10 minutes, we'll be heading straight to the hall for dinner.
Oh, okay. So maybe we'll just give you 3 minutes of your time. We'll take it on the show. Now, how is it like? We have full camp now. No injury worries. What's it like right now in camp? Anything we need to be, afraid of, or what's going on?
Nothing at all. No injury worries. We had all 23 players with us today. Although talking about Bruno Yemeji, and just had to go through special walks with our man, talking about the physical trainer, Michael. Otherwise, everything, no injury worries, no knocks at all. He will be part of the full training session tomorrow again. That will be the final training session before the game against Lesotho on Thursday. Yeah. But everything is going on well. We had a wonderful tactical session today where all the players were there and preparing for the game against Lesotho. Everything is going on smoothly.
Yeah, I love that news. We have two new players, two new call-up. Amas Obasoke getting into the team. Taylor Nathan also coming in. How are these players blending in? Have they been baptized into the team yet?
Yeah, fully integrated already. They had the corridor set for them today where they received some, taps on the head.
Okay.
Later on, time permitting us, there will be an induction as well. Normal induction where they get to sing. We'll squeeze time to do that because it's really a tight window. We're playing 2 games within 72 hours. Unlike some other teams that have the luxury of time, we will be playing on the 16th. And then by 17th, midnight, we're already on our way to Kigali. And then we'll arrive Kigali early hours of 18th. Get to have the pre-match formalities, pre-match conference, the official pre-match training. So it means we'll test the turf in Huawei just once. Once we land Kigali, we'll take a 4.5-hour journey, times 5 hours journey to Huawei. And afterwards, we start getting set for the game on Sunday. So it's really a tight window for us. But the boys are making most of it. Training was really light today because thank God the season is already hitting peak. So the boys are in top form. Tactical session, great one, and all going on fine.
Awesome. I like that. Babafemi Raji, it's always a delight to have you on the show. It's Lesotho. What's the assignment for this team? Are they saying it's small Lesotho, will just go out there and crush them?
You must respect your opponents. Once you don't do that, remember the word upset still exists in the dictionary. So we don't want that to come our way. We've seen big teams like that and indeed receiving that, but we don't want that to come our way. We're focused. Earlier on, we had a team meeting where the mission was again spelled out to us. The mission for the AFCON is there. This is the mission for the World Cup. And the coach Joseph Pesero was able to tell us about it, brought out the players that have been at the World Cup that are in the current squad to talk about the experience of the World Cup. And everybody indeed applauded and said, yes, truly we have to be at the World Cup. So we have a mission. The mission is to be at the World Cup. We would not underrate any team. Nigeria is the highest ranked team, the best team in the group that has 6 teams. And we have to finish the best, meaning we should go all out to win all 10 matches in this group. All 10 matches, home and away. Starting from the one that we played on Thursday here in Uyo against Lesotho before we go to Rwanda to take on Zimbabwe.
That's huge aspiration, Babafemi Raji. And before you joined, I told the guys in the studio that I'm keeping my optimism for this team, that they can go all the way. But we know that we've got issues that we must deal with them. And one of them is the goalkeeping department. What is the technical crew doing to address that situation? Because it will remain a problem until we solve it.
Most times I say I'm not a licensed coach, but through my bad left eyes. No. Let me explain. But through my bad left eyes, the responsibility of keeping your goal clean is collective. It's a team effort. So when things like that happen, we don't single out players. It's a team effort. I remember what Coach Joseph said the other time. He said, you don't have to blame the goalkeeper. Blame me, the coach. It means I have to work harder. Let me train the...
But last time we see howlers. You see the goalkeepers make howlers, make childish errors. That even the defender is...
Austin, we've got great goalkeepers that make howlers. Goalkeepers, some could be on a roll of bad days, bad times, but it is how you get back. See, there are some sensitive parts or units in a team that you don't just toy with. That is why you have goalkeepers that even when they're out injured, they still get back. We've seen Germany, we've seen that the man will still be there because of the confidence reposed in him. In certain goalkeepers, there are some sensitive units you don't touch because you need more experience. More game time keeps helping you out that way. And goalkeeping is one of them. Are you aware? Let me take you back history. That even in 1998, we had to even recall a goalkeeper that was already holidaying because we needed a result and we needed experience. So there are some sensitive areas we don't touch.
Okay.
And I know the coaches are really working on that to ensure we perfect that and we have a balanced team.
Okay. All right. Babafemi Rajemi, we have to let you go. Thank you so much for taking our time, your short time that you have to join us on the program. Hopefully on Thursday, after the game, we will be able to talk to you. And of course, we have to celebrate after the victory.
All right, thanks so much, and keep supporting the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Now we give joy.
Of course, let's do it again. But Super Falcons give more joy. We all know that, right? Okay, we're not contesting, right? You've got 7 nominations. How many do we have from the men's team?
Maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, so let's not go there. All right, let's talk about Nigerian Premier League now. Games decided over the weekend. Of course, you also have rescheduled games that will be played on Wednesday. I'll just run through the games where you have Doma United and of course an Aqua. It was 1-0. Doma United winning that. Casina. This is the fixtures. Rescheduled games. Doma United at Eimba will be in action. Heartland and Bayelsa United will also be in action. Rescheduled games because these teams didn't play when they were supposed to play. Now let's go back to what I talked about earlier, which happens to be the match day 8 result. Casina and Rivers United 1-0. Sunshine Stars and Rangers International. Rangers are getting a point away from home. Lobby Stars and Sporting Lagos. Lobby Stars are maintained top. That's their 3rd consecutive win, and that's why they're still top of the table. Kano Pillars and Eimba. Now, this was a crucial one for Kano Pillars. They needed this, and of course, they got the victory over Eimba. Now, we talked about Kwara United and 3SC. That ended in a draw. Of course, Niger Tornadoes and Benin Insurance, they picked a point away from home. NPFL, some fantastic games played over the weekend. Of course, I know that Eimba and Kano Pillars, the stadium was packed. I saw that game live, and I'm like, this is what we want to see. But I don't know how many actually bought tickets to get to the stadium because, when state governors keep train gates open, I'm like, what the heck? You guys don't know how to make money?
Well,
just take a look at the stadium.
We've always known that the guys in Kano don't play with Pillars, so they always come through. Now, maybe we need to dig into the gate takings to find out if they actually look at the business side of things.
You need to look at it.
But, we've seen a few games this season, and it's just match day 8 that has had some amazing turnout of fans. The fans are suddenly, apart from the regular places like Kano, the fans are suddenly, getting this reawakening, and they are coming back to support, the league. So it has to be sustained.
Yeah.
We need to talk more about it, create more awareness about it, And of course, to all the people who have been doing it through the years, we need to encourage them to do more. I'm talking majorly now about sports journalists who have actually dedicated, their entire career towards promoting the Nigerian league, the NPFL. So kudos to them. There's more work to be done.
Yeah.
But, the business side of things must be looked at. It must be looked at because we cannot continue the way it was. Now that people are actually trying to, someone was asking me about where to get jerseys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so we're getting there gradually. So let's bring back the glory days. When we were way younger, the stadiums were always packed. It was always packed.
Yeah, but you guys didn't have DSTV then. I mean, you didn't have
that's not an excuse because the matches were not in contrast with any of those teams.
Okay, so
the thing was easily you could identify with your local team. And this is one of the mistakes that some of our clubs are making.
Okay.
People in Lagos could identify with stationary stores, you understand? Like the people in Ibadan were identified with IICC that time and insurance of Benin. And that's how the spread was, Rangers. So the clubs also need to get back into the communities.
Yes.
They need to get back there and get their own people to support them.
Yeah, that is really key. I mean, get into the community and get the support that you need. But we need to wrap this up. Austin, Doma United, Aqua United. Doma United, that was your team last season. But right now, facing off against...
You know what happened last week when we were previewing matchday 7. I didn't say anything about Doma United versus Aqua United because I like both teams, and it's been a terrible start to the season for Aqua United. I know with what Doma United did, particularly with that Savannah derby where they took Gombe United to the cleaners, they're beginning to own the Pantami Stadium now. I knew it was going to be difficult for Aqua United. Doma United won that one 1-0. Good for league football in Nigeria. Let's say shout out to Raymond Stars also. They dismantled a difficult Gombe United by 4-0. Shooting Stars went to Kwara and they were able to pick a point. That game ended 1-1. This is the Nigeria Premier Football League, arguably the most competitive football league in the world. And we love that we're talking nothing but local football in Nigeria. Unfortunately, we've got to go. That's the show. In London, I'm Austin Okodakwan. In everything you do, remember, let's keep talking sports. Bye for now.
Yeah, Shola Rogers, it's a pleasure having you on the program once again.
Thanks for having me.
All right, thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Omogbe. But before we leave, we'll leave you with our pictures coming from Enugu State, where the state is planning to actually have their own sports festival to ensure that they have more athletes going into the next sports festival, grooming from home and no poaching. The sports minister paid a visit to the state governor, and that's where this came from. Good night.
We can't achieve anything too meaningful in terms of sports development without the grassroots development of sports. My mission in Enugu today is to inspect the zonal office, is to meet with the coordinator and the staff of the ministry, and use this opportunity to also, introduce our zonal coordinator, here in Enugu. Because as the activities kick up, a lot of the times, the zonal coordinator is going to come calling on either the commissioner for sports and, youth, or possibly to also meet with the governor himself. But I think that it's also important to take advantage of this opportunity to also inform, the governor and the government of Enugu State about what we think that sports, be able to achieve for our country.
We have also taken the view that you took at the national level, the way we see sports and youth development in Enugu State. We see sports beyond recreation. We see sports as a revenue generation sector, right? And that's essentially what we have designed a lot of our policies and programs around. Sometime next year, we're going to be hosting a sports summit, and we're going to be extending an invitation to you, where we're going to sit with other investors in the sector to showcase the investment opportunities that we have in our sports, the youth and sports sector. I think next year we're going to be having our own sports festival, the Enugu Sports Festival. It's taking place next year. And the idea is for us to raise that awareness that we can actually build these talents, we can groom them,